Okay, so an update here. After a trip to the store for some tools and stuff, none of which really worked except maybe this inch and a half, inch and a quarter, whatever adjustable wrench that helped. But I was never able to get onto the hose fitting that I wanted. So I thought, well, I'll go in and read the service manual because I have a full service manual for this machine. For everything from the engine to, well, everything. And so I went to the section for this hydraulic manifold under servicing the manifold or the hoses. And so there's some good advice. There's some tips, like first off, make sure everything is clean, which, I mean, obviously I'd eat off any of these services in here. So, I mean, oh yeah, that's clean. So that helped. And then it said to get to this manifold, remove the hoses. So, yeah, I was hoping they'd tell me how to remove the hoses, but no. So what I ended up doing is just taking off all of them, starting on this outside one, which I was just able to get to with the pipe wrench. And once it was off and the hose was out of the way, then I could get to the second one. And now I can finally get to this third one, and I'll break that loose, and then we'll do a little video of removing the hose. All right, so I've got a bin here to catch the hydraulic fluid, or at least as much as I can. Some is inevitably going to leak out under there. I just don't have a good way to divert it all, down here. So here goes. I did break this one, the third one here. So I broke that loose. Let's see if I can get to it now. I guess I'll use my right hand. There we go. Oh, I guess I didn't break it loose enough. I'm going to put a wrench on it to keep it going. There. Okay, that's good news. And here comes a torrent of hydraulic fluid. But hope I can get it mostly, yep, down in there. And let's see if it'll stay right here next to its sibling. And I think that can get dirty because those are all going to get replaced anyway. With that, I'm going to clean it up. Let's see, I'm going to clean that one up a little bit. Get the dust, dirt, sand, and stuff off the threads like I have on these others. And stuff a clean paper towel. Those have got dirty just from exposure to the wrench and my dirty gloves and everything. So that's why it's important to plug up that hole. But now, this hose is relatively new and undamaged. There's no exposed wire, and you can still clearly see the label. It looks to be in good shape. This one's pretty darn worn. So that one's getting replaced. It goes down through here, and it's the one on the far side right there. It goes all the way up to the dipper cylinder. So that one's getting replaced, as is this one. And you can't see it from over here, but there's some significant wear on the bottom. So, well, there's some right here, some wear right there, and here. There's supposed to be a hose clamp, like holding this one here. There's supposed to be a matching one over here. So I'm gonna get one of those to go along with the new hose and repair, just so that it doesn't have to be replaced again. And then this hose has got wear here right on the top. This is the one that makes these two boom cylinders have even pressure, just equalizes the pressure in them. But this needs to be replaced because it's getting worn against, you can't see it because I took it off, but there is a locking lever. There's a locking lever that you pull from the cab to lock the boom for transport. And for some reason they designed it so that this rubs there there's no guard. So maybe I'll put a little hose guard on that one. So we've got 1, 2, 3, for 5 hoses to replace up here on the backhoe, and maybe 4 hoses, 2 on each side for the stabilizers. 2 on this side and 2 on that side that need replacing. So anyway, there we go. Well, we've made some significant progress. I have not got the camera out as much as I should. Last time we did a video update, I was a little bit stuck with removing hoses down here on the manifold, but that has been taken care of because I got in the mail these are called crow's foot or crow feet. They start at just over 1 inch, go all the way up to 2 inches, and they just allow me to put a ratchet wrench on those and then get down in there. So I was able to take out some hoses. So I've got 3 hoses now to get replaced, and we'll get this one off today and this one off today. That way we'll have 5 hoses. I don't want to do more than that at once. Make sure everything goes back where it was supposed to go. And as you can see here, now with Dean's help, I was able to get these boom cylinders drained. We have a ton of hydraulic fluid in there. There's probably 4 gallons or so. Hydraulic fluid drained, the gland nut or the gland removed. This pin came out really easy, and it took quite a bit of doing to get those glands off. And then Dean and I both had to work really hard to get the ratchet strap out to pull the piston on the other side. We were able to just muscle this one out. But these are in really surprisingly good condition. Let's see if I can get a light in there. Quite shiny, fancy, but not at all scratched up. Not scratched up at all. And so I'm really happy with the inside of those. I think they've been cared for pretty well. So yeah, a lot of good progress. And now Dean and I are going to go inside. We put both of those pistons and rods, they're all together because there wasn't a way to get the piston head off of these while they were still connected. So we'll get a pipe from outside. We'll put the pipe through the ring there, take the bolt out, of course, and then I'll have Dean stand on that end while I put a whole heck of a lot of force on this 1.5 inch nut. We'll get those off. Once that's off, then the gland will come off, and we'll get those replaced. The gaskets and stuff here replaced, just like those are. Those are waiting for the new piston rod for the stabilizer. So a lot of progress, and yeah, we'll get that set up and we'll come back. Kitty's gonna come watch this. Yeah. All right, you want to switch places?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kitty's gonna stand up.
Super safe. Come on, Kitty. Nothing to fear here. You've got plenty of lives left. Just right under there. All right, ready?
Oh yeah, that was what I was expecting.
That was a little louder.
Yeah, that was what I was expecting.
But did you put all your weight on it?
No, not all. Then it was.
Oh, that's about right. Because it's supposed to be something like 600 pound-feet of torque.
Jesus.
Yep. It takes that kind of torque though to torque down a bolt that's that big. Yep, that's what the specs say. Oh, right, we're still recording. Anyway, that's it. Not very exciting though. Definitely not going to go viral with that one, unfortunately. Oh, sorry about that shaky start. This tractor is starting to weird me out here because I'm making a suspicious amount of progress. Like things are going fairly well. Kind of feels weird. So anyway, we've got this boom cylinder taken apart. Dean helped me out. We were able to get the cylinder itself back with the pin, although I do need to, there's a spacer that goes in between this piece and this piece. Pin goes through it, so that'll have to be put in. Gosh, yeah, and so I've got 4 cylinders in the, I should say I've got 4 pistons in the barn right now. The stabilizer on the other side, these 2 boom cylinder pistons, and the dipper piston, and their associated rods, although of course I'm still waiting for the rod for the stabilizer to come in. So 3 of those CO kits still need to be put on. Brady will help me with those on Saturday. So then I was thinking, well, you know, these 2 I've seen on YouTube, be just an absolute nightmare. But I was cautiously optimistic because these glands are not all beaten up. And I did buy a gland wrench. This is actually for a smaller size, but I was able to use these little pins. And I'll be darned if these didn't just come right off, or I should say loosen right up. I have not currently disconnected the hoses. What I would like to do, knock on wood, is disconnect the ring, the piston arm ring from this pin right here, and it'll swing out this way, and I'll remove the gland the rest of the way. The hydraulic fluid will drain out. I'll put a catch pan down here, and with the lever to the left and to the right, depending on which one it takes for removing the piston, I hope that will relieve the pressure enough that we can pull that piston rod out without having to disconnect these hoses, because those hoses are in good shape. They're protected from the sun and haven't been rubbing against anything, so they don't seem to be leaking, as far as I can tell. But we'll test that when we put everything back together. So that's the next step. Still feeling kind of scared, like things shouldn't be going so well, but we'll see you next time. I'm going to try to take out these 2 bolts that are holding the 2 pins in. At least I think that's what they're doing. Let's see. Come on, get on there. Okay. Oh, not that bad. Not that tight, I should say. Not too bad. Nothing there. Might have to tap that, see what happens here with a hammer. Oh. Oh, I see. It goes through a slot.
No way!
That's
working. We landed on the moon!
I wonder if nothing is holding them in now. We're about to find out. Okay, put those together. Oh, there it goes. Right in the dirt. Uh-oh. I don't think that bushing is supposed to be that far. Oh boy. Okay, well, this is something I didn't anticipate. As you can see there, that piece is a bushing. It's loose. It's supposed to be up inside here. I see hydraulic pressing a new bushing into that in my future. But hey, if that's the worst thing that happens in this portion of the job, I will be really, really lucky. Good morning. It's a new day working on Priscilla. Time for an update. It's been a few days since we did any recording. And I don't know if you can see here, it's kind of dark. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. So we have swing cylinders disassembled. I'm not super happy about, if you look, there's some gunk in the bottom of those. So I guess the hydraulic fluid was doing this job, suspending that stuff, but those were leaking as well. So that'll get cleaned out. Yeah, there's more hoses than last time. We've got 5 new hoses, so no leaks, at least in the hose department, as soon as we turn those hydraulics back on. Theoretically, assuming they got good crimps on those. Still waiting for a new piston rod here. That's still the bent one. And I'll probably take that off because I'll use this pivot point here for, well, I've got the other one set up on the other side. As you can see, that's sticking up there waiting for me to do a pull-up on it, because we're taking apart the swing cylinders, and Brady and I had some serious issues. Mainly they were mental issues, because we didn't realize that all we needed to do is put a regular socket on that. It's got a they call it a, there's a pin that goes through the bolt at the end of that piston. It's called a restrictor pin, and that's supposed to keep the boom, that's the backhoe, as it pivots on this swing tower, goes all the way that way or comes all the way back this way. You don't want it to crash into the edge of the backhoe right there. And so that restrictor pin, when the backhoe arm starts to get all the way over to the side, it's supposed to shut off the hydraulics and give it a nice cushion stop. So but they're really torqued on there. I don't know if it's over 1,000 pounds of torque or what, but it's a heck of a lot. And Brady and I already bent one of the restrictor pins. That's this one in here. The other one's still good, and I'm hoping this will work so that we don't have to do any other replacing of those pins, because apparently they're kind of hard to find. So I'm going to get on this thing and we'll see if we can break it loose. We'll see what gives first. Yeah. I don't like that. That was a lot of torque. Holy moly. But she finally gave way, so I think we'll be able to do the second one just like that and save the other restrictor pin. Oh boy. Scary stuff though. Okay, so Josh is going to help me with this one. We have it set up the same way. We've got that big socket, spring-loaded restrictor pin is pushed in by being held on by that strap right there, and we have about 8 feet. Very stoic there now, Joshua. And so Josh is going to do a pull-up on that and see if it's enough to break this thing loose. All right, Josh, whenever you're ready, bud. Oh, you know what? Could you put on my gloves? I think I put them right over there. I just want to protect your hands. There we go. Okay.
Ready?
Yep, go for it. Yep, keep going. All the way to the end. Yep, pull it down. One more hand. You can get one more hand up there. That's it. Oh, okay, come on. Oh, no. Oh, no. Do it again. Oh, yes! We did it! That was scary, right?
Yeah, it went in my head.
Oh, did it hit you in the head?
It's okay, I'm okay.
Oh, I guess that's why we wear a hard hat. Oh, my goodness.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, set that square one down over to the side and see if you can push this round one down a little bit more. Yep. Yep, set it over there. Okay, oh, there we go. That did it the rest of the way. Put that glove down and give me 5. Nice job. Woo! Okay, so the seal kit finally came in. Sorry, not the seal kit, the cylinder finally came in. Piston rod, my goodness, I cannot talk today. This is the new piston rod for the stabilizer. That's the word I was trying to find. And so these have had new kits on for a while now. I've just been waiting for this. So, just need a little hydraulic fluid to make sure everybody's lubed up and ready to go. Okay. Just going to get some here on these connective surfaces. Now that one needs a wipe down. Dang it. Let's see. You don't want to be putting them on when they're not clean. Because then you can get scoring on the chrome, because these are all chrome plated so that when they're exposed to the air, they're not going to be rusting out. But you get big scratches on them, like if a big piece of sand or something gets in there, it will be getting a scratch all up and down, and then you've got problems leaking hydraulic fluid, which is the whole point of replacing these seal kits in the first place. I better get a hammer on this one. Actually, no, I'm going to go vertical with it. Let's see. That'll do. There we go. You got it? Okay. Jeez. Okay. Now that that's started, I'll give it a smack here. And yes, it's supposed to be that difficult, because if it's not, then you don't have a good seal. And you do need a good seal. So that's just how it's supposed to go, just like that. Okay. And now, I'm just going to get the piston head started. Yeah, there's got to be a little bit of hydraulic fluid on that one too. Perfect. Yep. Now, in order to get enough torque on this bolt, I'll put it out on the pin it's going to sit on, flop it over the other way, away from the tractor, and brace it close to the end here, and put about 700 pound-feet of torque on a really long breaker bar. So, am I going to measure it? No, just going to put a lot of pressure, which is what all the videos I've seen describe. Just tighten it a lot. So, meet you out on the tractor. Oh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? So, procedure was the same. We put it on this pin, rested it on some wood over here, and got a big long extension to the breaker bar and tightened it down. I've been waiting so long for this piston rod to show up in the mail. Got it all back together in the barn there a moment ago, and forgot to bring you all along to watch me put it back on. But the procedure was the same. Just put it in there, tightened up the gland, get it through get the pin through the ring there at the end of the rod, and yeah, now I'm just going to have to replace a couple of hoses here, because one of them, that one up there is fine, but the one that's on the, let's see, there is a metal hose there, the one that's connected to it is in pretty rough shape. So that hose is going to need replacing, and it's pretty easy to get to on the other side of the hydraulic manifold inside there, unlike some of these other hoses. And it's a smaller one, so it's a little bit easier to work with. But yeah, a good YouTube content creator would take this all apart and set up the camera and do it all over again just to videotape it. But a good YouTube content creator, I am not. So, you know how it goes.